Hey guys, hey guys. Shh, they're sleeping. Damn it. Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Hope and staying safe. I'm gonna do a bunch of videos this week, so continue to watch on IGTV and our YouTube channel. Subscribe at GreatHomesATL on YouTube, and make sure you download the IGTV app. Look up GreatHomesATL and look at our series Mark's Education to watch back all my videos, and of course Cocktails with Kurt, which are fun and entertaining as well. So today's topic, I want to discuss what's the difference between a pre-qualification letter and a pre-approval. I think it's a really important distinction between the two, and it will help you make sure you have the smoothest home buying experience with us, so that you can close, as stress-free as possible. That's our whole goal, our whole motto. There's a lot of agents out there that are just like trying to get business, and they skip so many steps that people end up losing their earnest money, and then they end up coming to us because they're so pissed of the bad experience that they had. And then there's a lot of people out there, especially renters, that are leases coming up that make really bad decisions and then hit us up months later of like, I should have listened to your advice. I ended up using my aunt's or my cousin's real estate agent, and now I'm stuck with this astronomical payment. I wish I had just, listened to you. So let's talk about pre-qual and pre-approval. Now you'll notice in every one of our posts, we always put the very first sentence, usually DM us with your full name, phone number, and email, so we can send an introductory email to our lender referrals. And I just want to clear up things because we get a lot of emails and a lot of DMs asking, hey, if I have my own lender, can I still work with you guys, and all that kind of stuff. Absolutely. Whether it's your bank, credit union, somebody you already, got pre-approved from, absolutely. But one of the benefits, and what I like to tell people is, when you're looking to buy a house, it's just like anything else. When you're looking for a doctor, whether you're looking for a mechanic, when you're looking for all these, Google review sites and stuff like that, and Yelp, you're looking for the best service, the best program, the best rate, the best merchandise, whatever you're looking for, right? So it's no different when it comes to lending. For the most part, your credit score is going to be tied, to the corresponding interest rate. The higher your credit score, the better the interest rate. It's pretty much not going to change too much between lenders, because it's tied to, what's going on in the economy, the Federal Reserve, the Treasury, the yield rates, all that kind of stuff. What's important is the level of service, the history of that lender, because it's probably, other than us being your real estate agent and broker, those are the top two relationships you're going to need through this home buying or home selling process. It's so important to choose the right lender. What we pride ourselves in is relationship building, right? Relationship building with our clients and relationship building with anybody we refer you to. Whether that be handymen, landscapers, closing attorneys, lenders, whatever the case may be. And why it's important for us to have that relationship with the lender is there's so many facets, which you could look back at all the things we've talked about, look forward to all the things that we are going to talk about. But relationships are the key to a smooth transaction. And these are relationships we've built throughout the years of people that have, number one, are just good, solid people, really good at what they do, have experience, not somebody that just got their lending, license or anything like that have seen it all, that know how to resolve issues, because a lot of times through a process. It's more about problem solving and getting somebody to the closing table. So we take great pride in that we provide this one-stop shop, that you have a lender to kind of talk to you, and whether it's, past business hours or weekends, the ones that we've had relationships with are awesome like that, and we'll take the time, and if there's any issues, kind of help you get to where you need to be. There's nothing more frustrating when you deal with a lender and it's like, I'm not approved, and you never hear from them again, like, call me back in 6 months. Now, you want somebody that's going to help you work through the loan and the loan process. And a lot of times when you're not approved or you're denied at first, it's not a big stain on your credit. It's not a stain on yourself. It's actually the first step that you needed to take for the education to know where you need to be. And I can't tell you how many people, I would say 50% of people are approved right away, 50% of people are denied. That 50% that are denied, I mean, there's probably 30% that get so discouraged or just don't do what the lender says and will never be a homeowner and will continue to rent year after year after year. That other 20% are the people that I want it. Now I have the blueprint and I'm going to get there. And so that's kind of, what you should be thinking about when you go through this process. Now, what is a prequal? So when you get that introductory email, they're going to reach out to you, whether it's via email or phone. So as soon as you see that email come through, you should be on the lookout for a phone call, probably within the hour, if not within the 24 hours. And if you don't hear back, you should be proactive, because it's going to have their number on it, their website, a place where you can fill out the information online. So number one is to be proactive. If somebody leaves you a voicemail, call them back. If you don't hear from them, send an email, reply all, fill out the application directly on their website. So what they're going to ask you is your income. Obviously, they're going to pull your credit. We can go over debt, what kind of debt you have, student loans, car notes, all that kind of stuff, credit cards. And the process only takes, for this prequal, probably 20 minutes to a half an hour. That's really not a lot of time to invest in knowing, hey, am I going to be moving forward with this, or am I not, and what do I need to do to fix it? So say you get to a position where, they say everything looks good. I'm going to send a prequal over to Mark and Kurt. You really have no conditions to meet. And we'll get more into that in a second. Just send me over your verifiable proof, your bank statements, your W-2s, your pay stubs, your tax returns, stuff like that. Now, again, this is what's going to determine how fast and how serious you are about becoming a homeowner. That should be done within 24 hours. I mean, if you're talking to somebody, one of the lenders, at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night, you've had a half an hour conversation with them and they say, this is the things I need. When you get into work the next morning to go to your HR site and pull off your pay stubs, you should have folders already from H&R Block or whoever your tax person is, to just send that over. And then they can look it over and say, this is what else we need, or this looks good. Now I could actually submit your pre-approval to Mark and Kurt. So just talking about and having that phone conversation is called a pre-qual. After you send in your information, like I said, the pay stubs, the W-2s, the tax returns, they can look it over within probably 24, 48 hours, and everything looks good, you're officially pre-approved. If there's any kind of conditions, let's talk about what conditions are. Conditions might be, I need you to provide proof that you just said over the phone that you paid a $1,500 credit card 2 days ago. We'll just provide something, everything's online, showing from, that's coming out of your bank or on the credit card website that you made the payment. condition met. Condition, I need your 2018 taxes sent over, check. If you did those things, then you're going to actually be pre-approved. If you don't do those things, you're pre-qualified. And if they say, in order to get pre-approved, you need to pay this credit card down $500. Well, say you don't, you're not getting a check, or you can't make that payment for 30 days. You're not technically pre-approved until you do that. So what you want to do is make sure throughout the month until you could pay that $500, everything remains the same. You're not racking up more debt. You're not doing anything like that. You're not missing any payments. And then at the 30-day mark, when you've made that payment, you send the proof of that to the lender. That was the only condition you needed. Everything else you sent over. Then you're pre-approved. So you shouldn't start the process of reaching out to us again until you're pre-approved. Because what happens is, if there's any kind of things that you need to do, and say you're just pre-qualified, and you say, hey Mark, I'm pre-qualified. Could we go looking at houses this weekend? I've saved them on your website. Or can you search for some and we go take a look this weekend? If we find a house that you like and you want to put in an offer, and the seller wants to close this deal in 30 days, but you still have 3 weeks to go until you could come up with that $500, it's going to put that whole deal at risk. So having everything done and in place. Another example is a lender says, hey, if you pay this off, we'll rescore your credit to get you to a qualifying score. So say you're at 615 when you do your application, and you need to get to a 620 in this particular loan program to get there. Don't start the process until you actually make the payment on that. They actually rescore it and say, okay, now you're at 620, 621, 622, and everything going forward, keep it clean. The worst thing you can do is jump ahead, because you're gonna have so many contingencies once you go under contract that when you are putting down earnest money, which is typically maybe 1% to 2% of the contract offer, and you say you have 7-day due diligence period to do your home inspection. Well, if you're that person that has to pay $500 and you don't have it yet, and you have it in 30 days, you're not gonna have the money, or else you would have paid that right away, to do a $300, $400, $500 home inspection, right? So if you decide, well, I just don't have it, I'm not gonna do the home inspection, and then you close on the house and something comes up after you close because you didn't do that home inspection, you see what I'm saying? It's like a trickle down effect, how it could affect you. It could be, we have a 14-day, 10-day, or 14-day appraisal contingency. You have to pay for the appraisal up front with most mortgage lenders. So again, if that appraisal is $400, $500, $600, and again, you didn't have the $500 to pay off right away that the lender said you needed to do to get technically pre-approved, then again, you're gonna end up having to put that on a credit card, go more into debt. So make sure you're having that conversation with the lender to know the difference between if you're pre-qualified and pre-approved, and do not start that process of searching for homes until you're pre-approved. So again, pre-qualification, you're just telling them what you're making. Obviously, they're running your credit, looking at your debt levels, and saying, yes, you are now on track to get pre-approved once you submit these conditions. And then probably, like I said, within 24, 48 hours, you're pre-approved. If you have conditions to meet, you have to determine when you can meet those conditions, and then following up and letting the lender know, okay, this was paid off in that situation. They'll look at it, everything else looks good. 30 days later, you're pre-approved. So make sure you're going into it knowing the difference. Hopefully that's clarifying it for you. And in the next video, we're gonna talk more about things to prepare yourself during the process, and some later videos we'll do after you become a homeowner, what you should expect. All right, guys? They're still sleeping. All right, we'll talk to you soon.